They told you to calm down, to let it go, to move on. But deep down, you know it's not that simple. That fire in your chest, that clenching of your fists, that boiling heat, it's not something you can just ignore. They call it anger. They label it destructive. But what if I told you that this very anger, this raw, untamed energy, is the key to unlocking your greatest potential? What if the beast inside you isn't there to destroy, but to rebuild you, stronger than ever before? You've felt it, haven't you? The world's betrayal, the people who said they cared but left you alone, the dreams they laughed at, the hard work that went unnoticed, and every time you swallowed that rage, told yourself, it doesn't matter. But it does matter. That fire inside you matters. It's waiting for you to stop ignoring it and start using it. I'll tell you a story. Imagine a young man named Jacob. Life had been brutal to him. He grew up hearing one thing over and over. You're not good enough. Teachers dismissed him, friends outgrew him, and even his family doubted him. Every rejection planted a seed of anger inside him. At first, he tried to bury it, to be the better person, to move on. But the more he suppressed it, the heavier it became. Until one day, he couldn't take it anymore. Instead of letting that anger consume him, Jacob decided to let it fuel him. Every insult, every doubt, every failure became his reason to push harder. While others partied, he worked. While others slept, he planned. Every morning, he woke up with one thought: I'll prove them wrong. Years later, Jacob wasn't just successful, he was unstoppable. The same people who doubted him couldn't look him in the eye. And when they asked, "How did you do it?" he simply smiled, because he didn't need to explain. His success said it all. You see, anger isn't your enemy. It's energy, raw, unfiltered, and powerful. The problem is, most people let it control them. They explode, they lash out, they let it burn everything down. But what if you could control it? What if you could take that fire and forge it into a weapon? Anger, when directed, is like a blade. Left wild, it's dangerous. But when sharpened and wielded with precision, it becomes unstoppable. Think about every time someone told you, "You can't." Think about the people who walked away when you needed them the most. Think about the opportunities you missed, the moments you felt invisible. That pain, that frustration, it's all fuel. And the best part, you get to decide how to use it. Will you let it break you, or will you let it build you? Here's the truth. The world isn't fair. People will hurt you. They'll betray you. They'll try to dim your light. But what they don't realize is that every time they push you down, they're giving you more fuel to rise. Anger doesn't destroy you. It wakes you up. It reminds you of what you're capable of. And when you channel it into action, it becomes your greatest ally. But let's dig deeper. Let's talk about that moment when the anger feels like too much. When it's not just heat, it's a storm. When the world feels like it's crushing you, and your chest feels tight and your thoughts are screaming. What do you do then? You don't explode. You don't let it destroy you. You harness it. Take a deep breath. Feel that fire, but don't let it consume you. Close your eyes and see it for what it is. Energy. Picture it as a river, wild and untamed. You are the dam. You decide where that energy flows. It's not about ignoring it or pretending it's not there. It's about guiding it, controlling it, and using it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen someone run faster because they were angry? Work harder because they were hurt? Push further because they were told they couldn't? That's what anger does. It pushes you beyond your limits. It makes you fight when you feel like giving up. And that's where the magic happens. When you take that anger and channel it into your goals, it stops being destructive and starts being transformative. Let's talk about how you can do this. First, acknowledge your anger. Don't run from it. Don't deny it. Feel it. Understand where it's coming from. Is it pain? Is it frustration? Is it betrayal? Once you know its source, you can control its direction. Second, set a goal. Use your anger as a motivator. Angry at being underestimated? Prove them wrong. Angry at a missed opportunity? Create a new one. Third, take action. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now anger doesn't wait, and neither should you. Here's what I want you to do. Tonight, find a quiet moment. Sit with your thoughts. Think about everything that fuels your rage. Every betrayal, every failure, every rejection. Write it down. And then write down what you're going to do about it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, take that fire and channel it into action. Work harder, push further, dream bigger. Let your anger light the path forward, step by step. Because here's the thing, the world fears. Because here's the thing, the world fears those who harness their anger. They fear people like you, because they know that once you control the fire inside, you become unstoppable. Be that person. Be the fire they can't extinguish. So the next time you feel that heat rising, don't suppress it. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Let it burn away your doubts, your fears, your weaknesses. Let it remind you of who you are, a force to be reckoned with. Remember, the beast within isn't there to destroy you. It's there to set you free. And once you unleash it, the world will never be the same. When you walk through life carrying the weight of anger, it's easy to feel like you're alone in your struggle. But you're not. Every great success story has a chapter of rage, of frustration, of that burning desire to change everything. It's not just your story, it's humanity's story. From the athlete breaking records to the entrepreneur building empires, they all started with a fire. They all started with a refusal to accept defeat. Let your anger be your starting point. Let it be the fuel that powers your climb. And when you stand at the top, don't look down with hate or bitterness. Look down with pride. Not because you proved them wrong, but because you proved yourself right. You took the fire they tried to extinguish and turned it into a beacon that will guide you for the rest of your life. The beast within you is waiting. It's not here to harm you. It's here to remind you of your strength, your resilience, your potential. Unleash it. And when you do, the world won't just see you. It will feel you. Your presence, your power, your unstoppable drive. They'll know that nothing can hold you back. Not pain, not betrayal, not doubt, nothing. So go ahead, unleash the beast. Let your anger fuel your greatness. Let it shape you into the person you were always meant to be. And when the world asks, how did you do it? You won't need to say a word. Your success will speak for itself.